Hey, tonight or today, depending on what time you're watching the video, we're going to be doing a end-user review on Commissions Inc. Commissions Inc. is a real estate lead generation platform. It's an all-in-one platform. It's supposed to combine CRMs with a lot of high-level functionality, landing pages, website, a lot of different stuff. My name is Robert Newman. I am the founder of Inbound Real Estate Marketing, which is an inbound marketing company that focuses on real estate lead generation in Southern California. More importantly, though, I'm a 12-year veteran of the real estate marketing industry as a whole. I've been a senior executive at some of Southern California's top real estate marketing companies, and I've been speaking to real estate agents, brokers for 3 or 4 a day for many years, well over a decade. Ever since the last market slowdown. The reason I do these reviews is I'm attempting in a very kind of equal and balanced way to basically show both the good and the bad about all the technology, and it all has it. My system that I built has it, the CINC has it, everybody has it. It's just pros and cons. And the objective is I've spent 15 hours researching this platform, and I've got a login which I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you how the system works before you have to purchase it. But the main objective here is really, hopefully, to save you a lot of time. Now, if I do that, if you find some usefulness in this video, if I manage to cut your research time down, if you feel that any of the information I've given you is valuable, please do me a favor. Thumbs up the video or subscribe to my channel or both. I'd really appreciate it. Or if you don't like the video, leave me a comment, because there's always room to improve for everybody in everything that you do. All right, so without any further ado, Commissions Inc. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Commissions Inc. costs about anywhere from $900 to $1,500. The fee licenses their platform, their technology. The company was founded by a couple of experienced technologists, which has led to a very solid platform. So the company was founded by Matthew Swanson and Brian O'Neill. And I've dug deep into these guys' history. I'm going to summarize it for you. They have a lot of tech experience between the two of them. One guy basically builds software or the like kind of makes things work, and another guy kind of architects it. And architecting is exactly what it sounds like. Somebody just draws up a blueprint, comes up with an idea, and they kind of build the forward-facing look and feel of the platform, while the programmers, they build the way that it actually works. They build the functionality into it. So these two guys came together and they built the system. In 2016 or 17, I don't remember which, they were acquired by Fidelity National Financial. And the impressive part about, there's a lot of impressive things about CINC. So like I said, some of the pros about this company, most of the pros about this company are about the company itself, which is incredibly rare inside the real estate marketing industry. I only know of 2 really great company stories inside the real estate marketing industry. These guys have built a company where they handed over control to a dual CEO team, so 2 guys run the operation, not just them. They both seem to, at least from what I could find, they both basically have taken technical roles and let other people run the business side of the business, which as a semi-technical guy myself, I can tell you that is a great idea. You got to do what you're good at doing, and a lot of times, especially in real estate marketing, you have people that build these companies, and maybe they have a good piece of technology, but they're not really great business owners. They just don't know how to run the business itself. So these guys did a lot of smart things, and then they sold the company, and you would think that maybe like most real estate marketing founders that they would bow out because they made a ton of money. I don't know what I wasn't able to find the exact number. I seem to, in the back of my mind, remember it was over 100 million. Their revenue is at 68 million, but whatever the number is, you can be sure that these guys got either stock options from Fidelity National Financial worth tens of millions or more. And yet they still stayed with the company and run it and ran it. Now, I've read 26 Glassdoor reviews and about 15 or 20 product reviews in various places. A big part that I've read is G2. And I've also talked to my own clients about CINC a lot. And all these reviews seem to say the same thing. It's a good company. They care about their customers. And that's saying something. And that goes into the pro category, no doubt about it. There are a lot of cons as well. Okay, their product is expensive. It ranges from, I think I may have skipped over that. I started to say it and then I skipped over it, but I think it ranges from about $900 to $1,500 just to lease the platform. Plus, you have to spend money on direct advertising. So you spend money and you send it into a landing page, okay, or a website, as they refer to it, but it's really just a series of landing pages. There's no content on the site. It's not highly personalized to the client. This is what the site looks like right here. They have a whole bunch of quick searches on the bottom and a landing page on top. Now, if you've looked at any of my other reviews, you'll quickly notice that this site looks very similar, if not exactly identical, to many other products that are out there. Zurple and a lot of products. And they generate the traffic to these sites the exact same way that most of their competitors do, which means that you're going to be up against a very big field of people, if you're in a competitive market, that are using other systems above and beyond. They could be using Real Estate Webmasters or Sierra Interactive, or they could be using Realtor.com. They could be using, and you're competing against all these people in the paid search results, okay, for if you're doing Google. And Facebook is even getting pretty crowded in terms of real estate advertising. So you're up against a very large group of people competing against you on this platform. And you're sending them into a landing page that looks remarkably similar to everything else. That's a con. That's a huge con. Top that off with the fact that the system is one that you don't own. And I haven't been able to verify the truth of this, but I've seen a number of reviews that say that CINC not only do they maintain ownership of the website, but in some cases it would seem that they maintain ownership of the domain. And that is unusual in the real estate marketing business. And what I was able to identify with these guys that would seem to actually say that is correct is, listen, this is kind of technical, but you're looking at my screen. These right here, Live Royal Vegas, you see where that, and then you see where it says 302 Commissions Inc. That would seem to be a real estate website with a domain that's pointed back at Commissions Inc. So that would suggest the following. You start a subscription, you don't like it, they keep the domain and then repoint it back at their website, which I know that a lot of my viewers won't understand the relevance of that. But if for some reason you were a client of theirs for many years and you kept the domain and it did develop some organic signals, some signals from Google that Google liked, and then you leave Commissions Inc., then those signals get pointed to the Commissions Inc. domain. So there's value that even if you're just doing paid advertising, the bookmarking of the site, all the people using the site, there's a lot of value there that the platform itself has built up. Now you don't get any of that value. You cancel the contract with CINC, you're done. You're going to need an advertising budget. There was a very long-winded way of saying, so on top of the $900 to $1,500 that the platform costs, you need an advertising budget. It probably is at least going to be the same as the licensing fee. So let's just say that the minimum cost to get into the platform and use it reasonably is $1,800 to $3,500 that per month. That puts CINC at the high side of real estate marketing platforms. Now, this platform was definitely built And that's a con. So that's pros and cons. That's a con. This platform was definitely built, and you can find this stuff out yourself, but there's a story here on Crunchbase, and the story is this. In 2006, some real estate brokers probably approached Brian or Matthew and said, hey, build this thing for us. And they took a pass. They said, it's really complicated what you want it to do, and it is. But they then came back around, and in 2011 they agreed to build it, and thus Commissions Inc. was born. The story goes, at least the story that they publish, is that they met with 12 or 13 brokers from all over the nations in all sorts of markets. But here's the thing. They definitely met with small team owners, like people that had teams. This system is very much going to get maximum value for an actual broker, and my estimate would be this broker should probably have anywhere between 5 and 150 agents to get the maximum value out of CINC. That means that for the money, it's a strong, and I'm going to explain this, I'm going to show you why. It's a strong possibility for people that have teams. I don't think there's any way in the world that somebody would probably convince me that this system is going to be worth the value in comparison to what else is out there on the marketplace on the single agent small team side. It's a lot of money for a single agent and a small team to get the value out of this. Maybe if you're a top agent, like already making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, and you just need to organize your business, then and you're already doing direct marketing and you just need to move your budget over someplace, CINC becomes a good option for that one particular story. Other than that, I have a hard time seeing how the value would be there. So, having said all that, let's just delve in a little bit to what CINC actually does. So you can see here, and I'm probably blocking some stuff out, but you can see that you get to assign permissions for your agents, which is really cool. And the amount of permissions that you can assign each agent are insane. Like, you can do so many different things in terms of assigning permissions to each individual agent. So some agents can have certain types of access, others cannot have access. The system does a round robin. All of these things I'm mentioning are really cool. These are definite pros. The leads are well organized for you, and again, most of the information is going to be blocked out here, but you're going to see that you get designations about, is the lead new or old, who has it been assigned to, which will be blocked out, but you can see this is the place that would be, how many views have taken place on that lead, and most importantly, from a team management perspective, you can see how many times your agent has tried to contact that lead through the system. And the system itself has emailing capabilities, phone capabilities. It is very cool. Yeah, pipelines, filters, save filters, labels. For somebody who's inexperienced in technology, this is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. From somebody who is experienced in technology, I can tell you that it's very cool. It has contacts, communications, which is emails back and forth. It has calendar, and probably most importantly, it has what are called plans. Now, there's some weaknesses in this system. So all of this stuff is very, very cool. Okay, but some of these plans are basically funnels. Okay, that's the marketing term. You assign a funnel to a particular lead, and a series of follow-up activities will happen. And the system is good. It does that job very well. So you have a good CRM that's probably, if I had to compare it against Boomtown or Chime or some of the other systems that I've looked at, I would put this one in, the top 10 or 15%. So you've got a very good, solid system. The funnel system is not nearly as good as Bold Leads. Bold Leads has a much better funnel system. which leads me to my next comment. CINC is a very complicated tool, and they've kind of built it in a very complicated way, which has to do with the background of the guys that designed the system. They've done really big, really complex systems, and they built a really big and really complex system. Instead of making it easy for the average agent or broker to use, they built a complex system that's not easy to use or intuitive, and they basically counter that by selling a lot of classes. There's a lot of classes that go along with CINC. Now, you can get a really full view and understanding of some of CINC's classes on their Facebook page. And they constantly say, go to our Facebook page, go to our Facebook page. I've gone through the Facebook page. I've watched maybe a few hours worth of video that's connected to their Facebook page. The community in the Facebook page that they have created here is quite literally the best I have seen in the real estate industry. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily the best for you. One of the things that this community really presses is getting into these classes. So, and there's always a cost to all these classes, which seems to range. So just because you have the CINC system, really understanding it and getting the most out of it, you have to pay extra money for these classes. Now, CINC has a couple of options when it comes to trying to educate their user base. They could go with simply posting a lot of content, a lot of video content on channels like YouTube, or even doing a private video library that educates their users. They have chosen not to, and I think that it's a conscious decision. I think that that's probably twofold. One, it's a profit center not to do it. And two, they seem to be intent upon creating something that they call the CINC community, which is just basically where their partners and agents and everybody gets together and they do big rah-rahs, which is kind of like a real estate industry standard. Everybody gets together and they go, woo, and, you know, let's sell a lot of real estate, all that good stuff. And again, I'm a 30-year vet of the sales industry. I've done my fair share of rah-rah. I've led rah-rah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the choice is a con. It's not great for their customers. You have to figure out where these classes are. You have to attend them, and there's no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever. Thousands of calls, I think, in the last 2 years. Not thousands of calls in the last 2 years, but I've taken hundreds of calls in the last 2 years, and I've talked to maybe 2 guys that could intuitively figure out how to get a decent return out of this CINC platform without any kind of education. Everybody else, literally everybody else, is going to have to go to one of these classes. And I think that's a con, because now not only do you buy the platform, just a totally rough guess, but you're probably going to spend 60 to 100 hours of your time learning how to use the platform once you've purchased it. Again, I want to be clear. It's not to say that the platform isn't worth that. If you've got a small to medium-sized team and you're struggling with multiple tools all over the place, then CINC is a good option, at the price even, because you're probably spending that and advertising it other places. So this is a great option for you if you happen to be in that particular position, and you just have to commit to the classes, and they'll turn you into a better digital marketer. There's nothing wrong with that. My only personal, reluctance with that is they're going to turn you into a better marketer with this platform. They're not going to turn you into a better marketer in general, because this platform is not as intuitive as it could be or should be. There's a lot of things here. Like, I'm just kind of running through things. You can pick your featured listings. You can add sections. You can save the page. You can add in pages, which I may or may not have blanked out. But definitely I'll blank out the properties. So I think that in terms of the top pros, it's going to be on the CRM lead management side. Now, the reviews I've read all indicate that that's the case. Like, all the reviews on G2, a lot of people are leaving very favorable reviews. I'd say that the average is probably, if you're on a 5-star system, is that this system gets about 4 out of 5 stars. That's pretty damn good, especially for a system this expensive. So that means that a lot of people are making money. Now, most of the people say, in most of the reviews I've seen, say that the system takes up to 5 months to really kick in and start generating a return, which makes sense, and I'll tell you why. Since this system is using paid advertising as its primary method of delivering leads to you, then that means that you're mostly getting Facebook and paid leads. Now, the real estate industry, the market has been great for the last 10 years, but now it's not getting so good. And lots of new people are having extra budget to throw into advertising systems like this. So you're up against a very big field in almost every market that's worth competing for. So that means that your lead quality, which is never great on these paid systems, is very low right now. And so you're going to have to do a lot of what's called lead nurturing. That's calls and follow-ups and emails, because what you're doing is you're establishing the value of the relationship way back in the infield. And what I mean by that is that, like inbound marketing, the concept is you establish the value up front. You answer or address really valuable questions to your end user. And because you've done such a great job, like I am hopefully doing in this video, of answering their question or helping them in some way, you carry with you a decent amount of credibility. The way that the system generates leads, you're not going to get any of that at all. You're just another landing page that somebody is landing on. But the tools that they provide in the back end are very good. Not best in class for an automated system, though. And I want to be clear on that. Both Zerpal, Bold Leads are both better. And what I mean by that is that you have to do a lot of manual lead follow-up. You can have systems in place, and I'm certain that they're available inside this tool. But it seems to me that to get them to work, you've got to take all these classes. And I think I could probably figure out, I'm pretty sure the plans section is basically the funnel section. And then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to create, maybe they have a library of follow-up systems. I don't know if it was available. It's not available in the tool that I'm looking at. And so maybe they have a library of these funnels someplace, probably at one of the classes. And then you can get maybe a series of emails that you then have to copy into the system, and then now you have, finally, after all of that work, you have a funnel in place. Perhaps they provide you some funnels. There's something here called templates. So it would seem that they do provide a few templates with a certain amount of actions. Once again, I'm just going to say that these guys aren't even close to best in class. The Bold Lead system has certain funnels. It comes with like 30 funnels out of the box, and some of them have, they go 2 years and have hundreds of touches. So, is that right? Maybe not hundreds, but certainly about 100. So they have many touches. And so a lot of that is done for you. This is almost assuredly going to have to take a lot of tooling around with it in order to truly make it valuable for you. So what's my summary on Commissions Inc.? Oh, let's not forget the fact that they bought Tiger Leads. Actually, Fidel International Financial bought Tiger Leads and then lumped it into Commissions Inc. Now, as near as I can tell, I know that they absorbed some of the technology, and at one point I was consulting with the guys that founded Tiger Leads, and I never did any actual business with them, but I did get a chance to do a deep dive into the system many years ago, and I can't really see too many of the places where the technology got integrated. I have a feeling that probably the reason they got acquired is for the customer base and to redirect the website to the Commissions Inc. website, which is easily viewable here. That's what they actually did. You can see where it says Tiger Lead, and now it's Commissions Inc. So I suspect it was simply an acquisition of convenience as opposed to any particular synergies besides absorbing a customer base. Because actually, now I recollect, I did read something about this. They said they wanted the Tiger Leads community. that the user base of Tiger Leads had a rabid following, and they liked that, and so they purchased it probably to get a hold of the client. Yeah, never mind, for sure, to get a hold of the client base. So my summary on this system is this: if you're a team, I would say that this system is probably comparable to Boomtown versus only Boomtown. These two systems are designed for teams. Okay, so you have Boomtown, Commissions Inc. And what they each do better than almost everybody else is this team and lead follow-up thing, where you can kind of see what your agents are doing, and you can see, like, you could instruct your agents or train your agents to call out in the system, and that's some of the classes that CINC offers. I personally think that's a massive value add in terms of being a broker. So if you had the budget, you had the money, but you didn't, let's say, have the internal infrastructure to teach your guys how to be good digital marketers, like follow up on leads the right way, send the right kinds of emails and all that stuff, then this is going to be amazing, and it's better than Boomtown in that category. It has this community, it has these classes. Boomtown has a better internal team. They have account managers that call and give your team direct one-on-one training and do the same thing. These guys do classes. I personally think putting people into a classroom with like-minded individuals is probably a better learning environment. If you're not going to do online training, which I personally think is better than all of these things, then the second best option is CINC. So if you have a team, they need to be trained, you're looking for a platform, then CINC probably is the best option at that point. If all those things fall into the right line, I think that CINC is probably the best option for you that I know of, for sure. If, however, you're a small team or you're an individual agent, I mean, it's just like, I don't know, killing a rat with a bazooka. You don't need this kind of system, I wouldn't think. I mean, maybe in some incredibly rare cases, but you could better be served with bold leads, or you could better be served with, I haven't really had a chance to deeply dive into Yolopo, but maybe Yolopo, or even Real Geeks, because that's more designed for a single person, and the cost difference is massive. So when you start looking at it from a financial standpoint, you can get into some of these other systems for half the price, and they do certain things better. Like Bold Leads has a text concierge, so really you can have an ISA. Now CINC also has ISAs that will call for you, and I have no idea what the cost is. But if I'm judging based on their pricing and everything else, like the way they position themselves in the marketplace, it's probably reasonably high in terms of what you could do in other places. So again, if you've stuck with me to the end of this review, I hope you find it helpful. I hope you'll leave me a comment if you do, and if I sucked at it, or you thought that I gave you a lot of information that you didn't need or whatever, please just leave that too. Leave me a comment, let me know, because I'm always looking to improve and do a better job. Thanks for tuning in.